It's Trial Tuesday once again. The beautiful weather is here to stay, and that means everybody's pulling out their boats for the summer. Today, attorney David Ayler is here to go over the basic boating safety tips to keep you and your family out of harm's way. So welcome to Lowcountry Live.
Thanks for having me as always.
So, this is a big, very important topic. It's warm, everybody's, dusting off the boats, getting back in. What are the basic do's and don'ts that everyone should know?
Well, I think the first thing that's the most important is making sure that you have everything that you need on your boat. And when I say everything you need, I mean what you legally have to have on the boat. For people not familiar with exactly what that is, you should go to the DNR website, which is Department of Natural Resources here in the state of South Carolina. Really gives you an easy list to follow. There's a number of things like, your whistle, your fire extinguishers, of course your life preservers, how many life preservers you're supposed to have, navigation lights, things like that. But you really just want to go down that list and make sure that you have every one of those, because there's a good chance you're going to get stopped.
So legally, you have. I don't think we have a whistle.
Yeah, there you go. So see, now you got to go tell your
now
husband
we're in trouble.
He needs to check out the website.
So everything that's listed on the website, what we need to have. Let's talk about boating ages. I know to drive a boat, a lot of times you see kids. Even my kids want to steer.
Right.
But legally, what age do you need to be to man the boat?
Well, as long as they're 16 and older, they can man the boat. And then beyond that, if they take a class, there's also a permission to do it if you have someone that's 18 or older with you. But if you have a young person that wants to ride, it's very important to understand whether or not they can ride on their own, and if they can't, is there a way that they can by taking some of these safety courses. But just letting a couple of 13-year-olds that maybe have been on the water all their lives and are better than probably some older boaters out there is not a safe thing to do for you, the owner of the boat. The potential liability out there is obviously a great risk.
So if you're stopped and you don't have everything you need, you have someone too young driving the boat, are these steep fines? What happens?
They can definitely add up, and you do have court appearances and everything like that. Sometimes you can send in the tickets, but either way, the fines can add up, and most often, if you get maybe a warning the first time, a lot of times they're going to write the tickets, and they're going to write you one for each violation. This is just the way that they're going to enforce the laws. You're definitely going to see a lot more of it here early in the season. As things go on, maybe you'll see people getting pulled less, but one thing that's important to understand is when you're a boater, it doesn't make a difference whether or not you're getting pulled for like a traffic violation would be in the car, meaning that you can be doing everything completely correct, and then you just get pulled and they're able to do a check. A lot of times people will come to me and say, hey, we weren't doing anything wrong, they pulled us over. It's different than being in a motor vehicle and having some sort of issue that you've done to get pulled over. They can stop your boat at any point and check it.
Wow, and very important, you said now's the time of year that they're kind of really cracking down as everyone gets out there in the water. Let's talk about drinking and boating. A lot of people like to crack one open, have some fun.
I've heard that, yeah.
Is it the same as a DUI? What happens if they stop you and you've had too many?
Well, that's a good question, because they do have what you call a BUI, which is boating under the influence, and they absolutely go by the same standards. They have the same tests as far as the field sobriety test as well as the breathalyzer test. So, while you're allowed to have alcohol on the boat, and obviously you can have open alcohol on the boat, which is unlike the difference with a car, the driver cannot be under the influence beyond that same level. And I was encouraged to try to just get a sober driver so you don't have the issue at all, because a mixture of the sun, being out there all day, I've had a lot of situations that I've seen, both people I've represented on the civil side where another boater has injured them, or they've been in the boat where someone was injured, and then of course also the criminal side where people saying, hey, I didn't really think about, didn't really realize, being out there for several hours fishing or whatnot, having fun on the beach, that maybe I'd had too much to drink and were behind the wheel of the boat.
And that was what I wanted to ask finally. A lot of your clients, do they increase, through the summer months coming to you because of boating incidences?
Well, you see a lot more, and a lot of times it's first-time individuals have never had an incident with a boat. Maybe they got a new boat, maybe they were renting a boat, borrowing a boat, and there's a lot of liability issues that come with the boat, not just from thinking about criminal things like the BUIs and things like that, but you have a lot of boating accidents. It's tragic the number of deaths that occur on the water, and someone's going to be held responsible for that. Maybe not just responsible from the level of the criminal side, but the civil side too, and that can be everybody from the driver to also the owner of the boat. So you want to watch who you're letting borrow your boat, even if they're close friends or maybe somebody you're trying to impress.
Be cautious. All right, Attorney David Ayler, as always, thank you.
Thanks
keeping us safe as we head out in the water this season. And stay with us. We've got much more coming up here on Lowcountry Live after the break.